on today's show, we have Ramon. It's so funny. I never know how to pronounce your last name. I'm always like nervous about how, is it Casaus?
It's Casaus.
Casaus. Damn it. See, yeah. I did it every time.
I've heard every variation though, so it's okay at this point.
Yeah. So I want to get into, we just saw online that you have produced or are producing some PDF for real estate agents.
Yep.
And I kind of want to get into right off the bat, if you don't mind, so everybody knows I think this is going to help whether you're a real estate professional or a business professional. Sure. It's going to help you for 2020. What caused you to say, I want to create something that's going to help real estate agents in 2020?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons for that. I mean, one I think a lot of times in real estate, what happens is you start thinking you're doing something so different, and that you start thinking that you have these secrets, or that you don't want to let someone know what technology you're using, or you don't want to let them know what you're doing for lead generation. You don't want to do that, right? So you stay to yourself. You don't hang out with a bunch of realtors. You don't talk to them. You don't talk to people in your industry, and you hold it all in. But really, you don't understand how much you have to learn from other people, how much you can learn from other people.
Right.
So the best way to build those relationships, to build trust with your industry, is to provide them with value. Give them things that are going to help make them better. Because in return, the law of reciprocity, those are going to come right back to you. And it's just weird. At first, it's really weird getting out there and just saying, hey, you want to know what I do that makes me successful at X? Here's why. And you just give people, but it's actually the reverse effect is what I've found, is that it's only helped me become better, and it's attracted more opportunities, and it's attracted more talent to my business.
That's awesome. And so let's kind of get in specifics a little bit, because I know you have a website, and on the website, and like I said, I looked at it because I know your marketing director, Daniel, created it.
Yep.
And I looked at it and I was like, I could use this. Let's go into a little bit of details about what's in it. Because do you have one or two?
In terms of the website?
No, in terms of the PDF.
Oh, man. Yeah, we have probably at this point a backload of different PDFs, but each one has a different meaning, and and what we like to focus on is tactical training. So there's a lot of, set your goal. It's funny, we're going into 2020 tomorrow. Set your goals, aim high, shoot for the stars, land on the moon type of thing, right? And that's what a lot of training is. It's motivation. But I meet a lot of people who they don't need motivation. They're very motivated. They just need to know what to do. Tactical training on what to do. So instead of giving these massive overarching style trainings, we give very specific scenarios, very specific interactions you're going to have, and exactly how to handle them. Something you can take into your next conversation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's very applicable. And we found that it actually is, it helps people get closer and closer, because everyone can see the long-term goal. It's that's not hard to do that, but it's hard to see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, every single step going to that goal.
Because the one I saw was like a schedule of what you can do and how you can like schedule out your day. So instead of it being all theory,
exactly,
or like you said, a motivational speaker who's just going to tell you, you need to, hustle. You're actually saying specifically day to day, here's how you hustle.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, and this is kind of talking at a little bit of a higher level than what we're talking about right now, but in the entrepreneur space, which is what most people get into real estate for, is because they want to create their own business, create a future, become an entrepreneur, grow their business. You have so many people telling you should be doing this. And if you don't work 14-hour days and you get tired, and you should be hitting the gym from this time to this time, if you don't have this Lambo, or you don't have this, this type of house, like you're not doing, and that's just not the truth. But that's what the world we live in, is that it's all flash, but no one's really talking about what the actual day-to-day really looks like. Not the sexy version of it, the shit that sucks, the fun stuff that you're going to have to go through. Like, who's training you on how that's going to go? Not a lot of people, because it's not sexy. It doesn't get views. It doesn't get likes, but it's the truth.
Right. It's more granular in the sense of what you're talking about, like that execution of grinding out day by day. And what I liked about what I saw when Daniel showed me the one was it kind of like prioritizes your day and says, here, you need to do these few goals and accomplish these, and then it holds you accountable at the end. Yeah,
sure. And we don't try to reinvent the wheel here. One of the ones that we use is called the Power List. If you're familiar with Andy Frisella, MF CEO, and he talks about it all the time. There's 5 specific tasks that you need to accomplish during that day to get you closer to your end goal. So you figure if you do that for 100 days straight, you just knocked out 500 tasks, not 5, not 50, 500 that get you closer to your end goal. That's more than most people will knock out in 5 years, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's those little changes in your life that will add up to those large differences.
Yeah. And we were talking off camera where you were talking about, like real estate, and then some people don't sell very much or they don't sell anything at all.
Yeah.
And
happens all the time.
But I mean, I see professionals do the same thing, when they're at, because this is all the same. Whether you're in real estate or sales or, whether you're a manager, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you have to look at it and say, what am I doing that's moving me forward in the specific vision that I have to move the organization forward? And I know we're looking at a board here. We work hard and smart. We love what we do. And then you have marry the mission. So when you're talking to somebody or you're coaching, one of your real estate agents, and you talk about marry the mission, what are you, specifically meaning about that?
Marry the mission is whatever your end goal is, like dedicate yourself to it, marry it under, I'm not sure what the exact wedding vows go like, but it's something like death do us part.
I know there's an I do part.
There's an I do part, right? And then there's cheers after that. But yeah, you marry exactly what you want. But then the other portion that you didn't read on there, it says date the model. And what that means is that don't get so tied up in one way of doing something, because your end goal is still the end goal. That's not going to change. But the way you get to it, however you get to it, that's how you get to it. So date the model, marry the mission, date the model. And I mean, a lot of brokers, they think something, or you have a lot of ideas on how something's supposed to go because that's how the guy on Instagram posted it and saying he's doing it.
Oh, right.
That's completely irrelevant to your situation. And that's the hard part is that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a real estate broker, you're getting information from every freaking direction, and you're hearing the 4-hour work week, I can go on. And it really can confuse you because there's so much info thrown at you that you just don't know what direction to go. It's almost like paralysis by analysis. It's like, there's so much shit. Like, what do I do? Who do I listen to? What do I follow? Yeah.
I mean, they were saying how many podcasts are being downloaded daily, and then there's like 6,000 business books that come out every month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that amount of information that's coming out there, like you said, you could look at, like right now I'm on this kick with this 12-week year thing because it's interesting to me to see that what I should accomplish in a year, I'm going to accomplish in 12 weeks. So, but that's just another model, whether it's a daily entrepreneurial planner or whatever.
And speaking of model, it gets back down to dating marrying the mission, is that it doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in the model.
Right.
Like, you have to stick to one at some point. Like, when you date somebody, you stick with them for a little bit, right? Date the model. If it don't work, then break up with it. But you got to stick with it long enough to know it's either going to work or it's not.
Right.
And you got to think too, like, if you are a business owner and you are someone who's looking for, more in life, look at your data on the internet. You're the perfect person to pop up an ad to sell a get rich quick book.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like, you're perfect. Like, I know that. So think about this, guys. You're going through your entire life, your Instagram, your Facebook, your website, whatever it might be. You are literally the perfect person to have an ad pop up in front of you to get sold some type of new way of doing business or some new business theory or some, model, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So be conscientious of who you are on the internet and understand why this shit's being thrown at you left and right.
Because I've done that literally where I'll see something and it's intrigued me, and then there's a free PDF, and then I download the PDF, then I'm reading it. Next thing you know, there's an hour and a half gone.
And then you're getting emails in your inbox that are like, this is why you're not a millionaire. You're like, oh no,
you suck.
Wait, this guy knows that you suck at life. And it's like, wait, hold on. All I did was look for a PDF, man. So by the way, we don't do that. If you download our PDFs, we give them to you, and that's the end of the story. And if it works, let us know. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but
and so I think it's really interesting because when I looked at the one that you had, and it looks like there's a football field, and then the X's and the O's like a playbook.
Yeah.
So did you create it like a playbook?
So if I said I created it, that would be taking all the credit, and that's not fair. Our team, our admin team, and Daniel helped a lot with our marketing director. It's called ROC the Fourth, and the reason it's called ROC the Fourth is because we teach our brokers to treat every single day, every single hour of every single day with absolute urgency and playing at the best, as in it's the fourth quarter of the game. It's the fourth down of the game. And you got one more chance at winning the game. That's what you have to go into every single day. So practicing like you play and playing with absolute intensity every single day. And that's what we talk about with our brokers. And that's why it's called Rock the Fourth. It's because it's like you're playing in the fourth quarter.
Well, I could just imagine if you treated clients that way. Like
you have to.
What would that sense of urgency have?
You have to. So one of our core values of our company is 24/7. And some people take that the wrong way. And, there's more to life than working and work-life balance. But Jeff Bezos says work-life harmony. Like, which one is it? That's besides the point. The point is that someone's relying on you to help them make a very, very big decision. And, and whether you like it or not, the way that the industry and the way that the world moves now is 24/7. So either get with it or fall behind. Simple as that.
Yeah, because I would imagine, I've looked at homes before and it's been 8, 9 o'clock at night, but I wouldn't expect an email back. And if I did, I'd be like, wow.
If people could only see what their real estate brokers, and for the ones that produce and that are doing well for their clients right now in this market, if they could only see the work, if they could only see the late nights, them waking up worrying about your problems, right? Literally waking up worrying about somebody else's problems, taking time away from their family, all to make sure their clients are getting taken care of. I think you'd be shocked if you could see what happens behind the scenes, because it is a 24/7 gig. Ask any high producing or high functioning real estate broker, and they will tell you those exact words.
So if you're looking, if somebody's out there right now and maybe they're a real estate agent and they're not really producing and they're intrigued, so they're going to go, on your website, and we'll go into details on that. They are going to go on your website and look at, these PDFs and download them, whatever. Yep. What advice would you give to them? Obviously you'd say, hey, come join my team. I can coach you through this. Yep. But if they're sitting there and they don't know it's 2020 and they don't even know if they want to be in real estate or not, or where, they didn't, and I don't know what the right amount may be sold. What's somebody that's struggling? 5 homes a year?
Yeah. It just depends. Everyone has different struggles in their career, but if you've been in real estate for maybe I'd say 2 years and you're not breaking the at least one home a month mark, we're probably, we need to change some things.
So what would you like? So if somebody's sitting out there and they're discouraged right now and they're looking at that and they're like, I really enjoy this, but I feel like I just don't know what to do.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of that. It's like,
that goes back down to our tactical training.
Right.
You can give someone all the great advice ever, but you got to tell them what to do. Then in clear direction from one specific source that clearly has results in the business, and blocking out all the rest of the noise and truly sticking to the plan for a reasonable amount of time. That is where you'll see the results at.
Is like time management a huge issue?
And doesn't that sound so like,
it sounds,
gosh,
I feel like I just brushed over it.
Yeah.
But it's the most important thing that you can do.
And that's all the shit that no one wants to talk about because it's not sexy. Nothing's sexy about following your freaking to-do list every day.
Right.
But that's what gets stuff done. It's simple.
Yeah. I read a book from Darren Hardy. I think it's called Compound Interest. Yeah. And that's what he talked about. He's like, the 52 weeks, if you're sitting there doing it every day, and you're accomplishing tasks.
Yep.
So when you're looking at somebody and they may be at, let's say they're at another agency or whatever, and they're struggling, and now they're doing the crazy Craigslist, Indeed.com thing and looking at other jobs, but they kind of like it.
They like real estate. Yeah, it's fun.
What would you like? What kind of advice would you give them? Like now, like if they're discouraged. If somebody comes in here and they want to work with you, they have a true heart, and they just don't know where to go. They're kind of lost.
I'd say you got to believe in yourself, one, but that's again too cliche.
Right.
The reality of it, and just not talking about what everyone else says. The reality of it is, if you're building a business, ask any successful business owner that a real one in real life, not the Instagram sell you a freaking stock trading, course, not that guy. Someone who has a real business in real life with real employees and real revenue, ask them how many years or how hard it was to build that business. And they're going to give you a lot of answers, and a lot of them are going to be spanned out over years. So you got to understand is that you are literally on that same journey. And if you give up, you already know what the answer is going to be. It's going to be, you didn't do it. That's the answer.
That's good. Yeah.
But it's like, what do you expect just to build this rock star business in 6 months and, be making $50, $100, $200,000 a month? What do you think is going to happen? No. It's a real practice and it's a real business, and businesses have systems, they have processes, they have procedures, learning curves, they shift with markets. Like there's a lot more that goes into selling real estate than just, I I sold a house or two and now I'm done.
Right.
So if you want to build a real business, understand you're building a career, and careers are not built overnight.
Yes, that's
like,
so true.
Like that's the reality. So if you want to be a, just a little fly by night real estate broker, then yeah, get discouraged. But if you're trying to build a real business, don't give up and just understand you're on that journey. That's the journey you're on.
So you're saying somebody that's out there that's been in the real estate, maybe they haven't done that well for the last 2 years, they're quitting at the absolute wrong time.
Well, they need to start treating themselves and their work as a business. I guess that should back up.
Okay.
You need to go in with a business mentality, because if you go in with just, I'm going to talk to people and see what I can do, that'll get you by. My favorite analogy is if anyone's ever played sports, I played basketball. Right. I was an athletic guy. Okay. But I didn't really learn how to shoot a basketball the exact right way. I had broken my right arm one time or fractured it and, kind of messed with it out this way. And I never learned. So I could get by. I was athletic. I could hoop,
Right.
But then there was a level of competition where they had learned the right forms early on, and there was nothing I could do. They were better shooters than me. It was point blank period. And you could do that down the line with every single sport. So the point being is that
Charles Barkley's golf swing.
So my point being is that you can get by on pure natural God-given abilities, right? Like you're a smooth talker, charisma, you look good, right? You can get by on that for a while, but the guy who builds the business from day one, there's a level of form and execution he has above you that he will surpass you. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you back up and start building your foundation and your business. And that's the reality.
So somebody that's there in that moment right now, one, they need to start believing in themselves. Yep. But when you look at some of these guys or gals, there's some people that don't need to be in real estate, right? I mean, there's just people. Do you think everybody could be in real estate or?
No. Some people don't want that, man. You want to go home and enjoy time with, and not to say that brokers don't get to go enjoy time with their family. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
And a lot of people run very successful businesses that are very structured in their life, which is great. But if you're going into a commission-only based job, that means you have to go in with a by any means necessary mentality. And for me, that was, was missing family vacations, right? Not going on trips with people who I promised I'd be there for, skipping those bar nights that I was pretty accustomed to in college. That shit was done. Saving your money, not being able to spend. You put everything aside to ensure that you're going to be successful. But that's really hard for a lot of people to do because they get accustomed to a certain lifestyle. They don't want to give it up.
It's funny. I walk in the door here and there's nobody here but you and Alex.
Yep.
And Alex is your top producer?
Alex is by far the top producer.
Yeah. And he'll
be here tomorrow morning too. No questions asked. The guy's sick and he's still here. He doesn't feeling good.
Oh yeah. It just shows you.
Yeah.
Every time I've came here and everybody's been gone.
Yeah.
And your receptionist fixing to leave or whatever, there's no realtors around.
Yeah.
And Alex is in his office.
He's still there, man. Yeah, that guy hustles.
So that tells you it's that. So somebody that wants to work a 9-to-5 job, real estate's to be successful, it's not for them?
No. That's not going to
See, I think people need to hear that. Well, straight up talk.
The industry, and again, this is not what everyone wants to hear, but it's such a superficial industry. It is. You feel like you have to dress to impress and you got to drive this. And if you're not putting out this aura that you're successful, no one's going to want to work with you. And people get, there's a lot of egos in the business, just like a lot of other businesses. I feel like with real estate though, it's just even more so. It's just one of those things where you can see something and think, oh, I can do that. 'Cause shit, if so-and-so can do it, I can do it, but you don't really know how good so-and-so's doing. You think so-and-so's doing
there's
good.
a lot of fronting. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's actually how I got Alex. I actually got Alex because he was interviewing with another company and he was telling me, yeah, so-and-so said, I don't need this. But at the time, by the way, I was working for RE/MAX and I was all about it. That's the only thing I knew. So I was pitching RE/MAX to him and he was telling me, yeah, people were saying you don't need that brand and they don't know, yada, yada, yada. So I sat him down and I said, hey, I want you to tell me every person, their names, who has told you that this isn't the right move and look at them at this company, whatever. And so he started giving me the names. We started pulling up their production. See, that's one thing people don't know is that any broker can cross-reference another broker's production.
So there's accountability.
It's accountability, yeah. So, if you're going to say you do X, hopefully you did do X. Mm-hmm. So I show him the production numbers and his jaw is basically on the floor because I'm like, look, man, that guy telling you this sold 5 homes in the last 3 years. So I don't know what you know what I mean? You start looking at these numbers and he was just like, wow, that was all bullshit.
Yeah. Cause, I know like when you look at like, there's jokes on it and all that stuff. When you look at real estate agents, everybody talks about driving the BMW with 120,000 miles on it. You know, dude. I mean, it's got a nice paint job, but that's about it. Or, but I mean, there's a thing with that too, you know, like there's TV shows and all that. And we talked about that before, so I don't want to get into that. But whenever you're looking at like, especially with your company now, because I know you've made some huge changes.
Oh yeah, huge changes
here at ROC Real Estate, and we're at the headquarters. I don't know if everybody can see the sign. I'm pretty sure, but and you've moved into a bigger building.
Yep, bigger office.
Yeah, bigger office,
much larger actually.
Yeah, and what are some of the changes that you're pushing for 2020?
Yeah, so we initially started off running a team, and a team structure is very, you know, I'm not going to say it's limited in terms of what an individual can do, but it's more of everything's provided for you and you work in the system. But what I found is that if I did that and somebody worked with us for 3 years, 4 years, they go to another company, they leave us, let's just say,
right.
What did I really do for that person that time? Yeah, they got some experience, they opened some doors, sold some real estate, but I never truly taught them how to build a career around themselves, build a business around themselves. Like people say, well, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I did it. I started off 3 years ago and you know, ROC Real Estate is a pretty well-known, you know, not trying to toot my own horn here, but it's a well-known independent brokerage. Yeah.
I saw you had a magazine or something.
Yeah. Alex is in the magazine too. Yeah. It's cool stuff. But the point is that I wanted to give people an opportunity to where they can grow a business, they can grow something around themselves where there is no limit to them anymore. And you know what? If someone leaves us and gets too big and becomes my rival and shuts me out of business, well, damn, that's a pretty good review for me.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, a lot of brokers don't want to do that. They don't want to help someone to build their own business and truly give them opportunities and create them for them to build it around them. Because the reality is,
so brokers hold back.
Oh yeah, gosh. Team leaders, owner brokers, and just brokers in general. That's the part I was telling you about.
So it's like, here, I'm going to mentor you and shape you.
But I'm not going to tell you everything.
Give you 60%.
Correct. Yeah, and I'm not
Holy shit.
Well, no, not even 60.
That's so fucked up, bro.
Commissions go down as low as 30% in the team or in the team businesses I've seen, even down to 25. But the point about that is that, again, there's still things that they're not giving the brokers. Like, again, what if they went out of business that day? What is your broker that you allegedly trained? What do they really have? And the reality is that people buy people. So if I'm not teaching you to build a business around you, am I really serving you right?
Right.
The answer is no.
Right.
If I'm trying to tell you that you got to rep ROC Real Estate and you got to rep Ramon because that's going to get you business, I'm full of shit. And I would never do that to somebody. I would tell them, you need to start building a business, branding yourself. Let's help you figure out what your niche is going to be, where you're going to find yourself in this business, and how can we grow you from there? And that's what a lot of businesses and a lot of brokerages and teams will not do. They won't tell you the truth, and they won't do what's best for you. They'll do what's best for their return on investment.
But that's not a team.
Well, you know,
there's not trust.
And don't get me wrong, though. There's plenty of teams that run good businesses.
Are they dysfunctional though?
No, there's a couple, there's some very good ones in town. But again, I don't really get along with that type of broker. I don't get along in the
what differentiates you from them
in terms of the brokers.
Yeah. In terms of,
no, I'm talking about the actual brokers that are with your company. Like I like the guys who are entrepreneurial mindset,
right? That
want to go more, right? That want to take care of their financial health, their physical health. They want to take care of their business. They want to grow something around them. We get along because that's how I think. So I don't get along with the broker really who wants everything handed to them and they just want to work the leads we provide and go work them for. That doesn't get me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, it's like blah.
You're not really changing someone's life. And with the way our model works is we are changing your life. We are taking you in at 0 and trying to push you to 100. And that's the type of person we like, that we get along with. So that's the difference. And
so like you as a leader here, I mean, because obviously you don't have teams, you said?
So our brokers are able to, if they bring on a team or they start a team, they're able to have a team underneath our company. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So whenever you look at that, like why would, if I'm sitting here and I'm discouraged and, you know I have potential and I'm entrepreneurial and I want to work hard and I'm like, well, let me DM Ramon, maybe I'll have a conversation with him. What makes you different than Remax or, any of these, you mentioned them, any of these other Century 21, whatever, what makes ROC so different?
Right. So
you have the difference.
Right. Sure. Exactly. So a couple of the things that, I could go down the list of a lot of different ways that we've kind of tweaked but heavily tweaked the brokerage model. I'd say one of them is for sure in technology. Without a doubt, technology is a staple of ours.
Like technology, like for marketing or
for marketing, your personal branding, CRM, client retention management systems, video email marketing. We got a lot of stuff that helps you with different websites. And if you want to start doing, Facebook ads, pay-per-click, those types of things. Again, all things that are helping you build your business that are yours, right? We give to you that you get to use and create your business. Yes. And I think what a lot of times is technology is it's like this overhanging word, and not a lot of it you actually use day to day. One, it's either too confusing. Two, it just actually doesn't do what you want it to do. Or three, it just sucks point blank. So we found what are the four most important, and we found four of them, four most important aspects of a broker's day-to-day and career. What do they need? And
so these four things are like pivot points. That's what's going to move them to that.
That's what's going to move them to the next level. Having these four things.
And you've done research and found four.
And we got the technology for each of them. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that's part of our technology package that we provide each of our brokers.
So I've never heard that before. Yeah. Most everybody, I think, to me, doing digital marketing, to me, a lot of real estate is like 1996.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't realize that how far,
real estate. There is so much money in real estate technology right now. It's not even funny. It's an absolute boom of
those industry. Are the ads you're getting.
Oh yeah. I you got to look at them. And that's part of what we do though, is that I think this last year, I think I probably went somewhere every other month in order to learn more about real estate technology. I was in New York. I was in Scottsdale. I was at Zillow headquarters. I was at Inman Connect. I just got back from another one in Vegas. And that's part of what our company does for our brokers. We go out, find the best technology, and then we buy a ton of it and then redistribute it to you at freaking a fraction of the cost. So we're almost like a technology syndication where we find what actually works, what's good, and we give it to you at a fraction, literally a fraction, maybe a tenth of the cost.
So you're turning around and giving technology for the four things. What were the four things?
So the four things that every broker is
I hope this isn't too much. Oh, you've got a...
Well, we got a call here. One sec. I'll call you and I'm off the other line. Okay, cool. So the four things, that was kind of like a pause.
Yeah, we had a nice pause.
Buy this ad. No. So the four things that a broker needs is one, your business all comes down to your relationships, like point blank period. It's all about the people you know and the people that know you and the people that trust you and refer you business. Just like any practice, right. CPA, financial advisor. I mean,
any businesses, this sounds like it could be for anything.
It's not rocket science.
So relationships, number one.
Number one. So a relationship management tool that allows you to not only market yourself to new incoming business, but also keep in touch with your past business. Okay. Client relationship management tool. The second is just a true differentiator in the way you communicate with people. So ours is a video emailing platform that all of our brokers use. So what that allows you to do is instead of sending those long drawn out emails,
it take forever to type.
You can literally just put your face right on it, send videos, send links, and it's a differentiator. It's gotten me into some meetings that I never thought I'd be a part of simply because instead of me sending a boring email, I sent a video email.
Dude, I can't remember the last time. I'm on a lot of business shit all the time. I cannot remember the last time I've got a text or an email of somebody on a video.
So it's
even now I have it.
Yeah. It's a communication differentiator right off the bat. So it establishes you as I am different on the first piece of communication that you have. So that's the second one. The third one comes down to reviews. Now, I'm a pretty skeptical person by nature, but if you ask a broker, hey, where are all of your reviews at?
Right.
They're going to tell you, well, they're on Facebook, they're on Google, they're on Zillow, they're on Realtor.com, they're on Trulia. 99% of them. Okay.
Right.
Oh, and did I say Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell you, okay, so which one of those companies do you own? They're going to say, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, those reviews are like third party, like you don't own them. You have no say over those. And, a lot of times people know with Zillow, which is probably the most prominent, that half of them don't even go through. And that someone can leave a completely negative, false, completely untrue review about you. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, completely blatant, they can just do it. There's nothing you can do. So we give our brokers their own custom review site that they're able to get all the past client reviews from their people that they own. That is an SEO friendly site. So it's what you see when someone's searching for you, because as you know,
right,
in your industry, that at least in real estate, 90% of people who meet you or talk to you on the phone or get a text message,
they're going to look you up.
They're going to Google you. So what does your digital resume look like?
Yes.
You got to be
that's so important.
very conscientious of your digital resume. If you have not Googled your own name and Googled like Ramon Real Estate, Ramon ROC Real Estate Partners, Ramon Albuquerque, Ramon Casaus, if you haven't done that, you need to do it and make sure that you're in control, or at least as much as you can be, of what shows up.
It's amazing when I talk to business owners and I ask them about their My Google page.
Yeah.
Or I'll Google them before I meet them, and then I'll ask them about it, and they haven't Googled themselves and they don't know how long.
Yep.
And it's like, it's a digital resume.
Absolutely. And so real quick, before I forget, the fourth thing is document and transaction management. So the other things are all how to get new business, keep business, make yourself different, make sure you track all of the good services you've done so other people can see about how great you are. And then the fourth one is actually the transaction management portion. So we provide one of the best transaction management systems in the world to each one of our brokers. We have our own in-house transaction management team, but the technology is there for you. It makes your documents, it makes everything super easy. So
it's something I've noticed, because I've been here multiple times. What I've noticed is the amount of training you do too.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much training goes on in other agencies, but but here, and I see it online a lot, where you're giving training and stuff like that. Why do you think it's so important how often do you do training?
So we do training probably about 3 to 4 times a week.
Wow.
And they're all done through a live platform where you can watch them anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter if you're on vacation in Spain, you can go and watch our video. I mean, it's going to be a time difference, but you're going to be able to watch them. And the important part is the people who are doing the trainings, our technology specialist, Erica, she's doing training on technology. Okay. Alex is doing training on sales. He's our number one sales agent. I'm doing things on growing your business, right? Creating your differentiator, your unique selling propositions, all my specialties. What I found and get a lot of complaints from other real estate brokers that the people who are doing trainings have never sold real estate, or they don't sell a lot of real estate. Right. So here I am trying to tell you, hey, this is what you got to do to be a mega producer. And the person telling you has never been a mega producer. It's like having a out of shape trainer. Like I really want to listen to what you're saying, but I'm kind of wondering in the back of my head, how come you haven't applied these things?
Yeah. Or that motivational speaker that's never built a business.
It's the exact same thing.
I'm done.
Yeah. And that's why, honestly, man, like I love sharing information that I've learned, and like, I can say, no, this worked for me, but I do like to steer away from the motivational stuff a little bit, just because I'm like, I don't want it to come off the wrong way. Like, oh, you think that I've done something like amazingly great. Like, no, I mean, we've built a good business, and we're definitely excelling, but that's why I think I steer away just a little bit from it, is because of that connotation.
Yeah. And I'm looking at your whiteboard now, and I see, obviously, is that your handwriting?
That's definitely my handwriting.
But I see you have some 2020 working on the business and working in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're looking at? Because I mean, obviously, I've gotten to know you, so I know how you think, for the most part, like business wise. And I know you're already planning out 2020.
Absolutely. 2021 is actually starting planning tomorrow, next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're already at 2021.
Yeah. We're already starting to plan for that. 2020 is gone. We already, we started planning for that. Yeah. So the reason why we have those up there is because it's a reminder of our 2 different meetings we have per week. One is our admin meeting, which is all the inner workings of our company, like right now. What are we doing right now?
This is so good.
This is all the nuts and bolts. This is everything that keeps, the glue keeps everything together. We're all on the same page moving forward. We're prepping for our company meetings. We're prepping for next week. We're prepping for these different things. And then we take the time to let all that stuff go.
Right.
Get it out of your head. And then usually on Thursdays or Fridays, we have a next year meeting. So for instance, on our next meeting on probably next Friday, we are going to be planning out exactly what goals do we have to be walking into 2021 with. So AKA at the end of 2020, what is it that we're going to have accomplished? And going into 2021, what's our vision for that month, for that year? And so we're taking all the little things, your little phone calls, all the stuff that's trying to go on and keep you from working on your business. We're blocking it all out, and we're strictly focusing on 1 to 2 years from that day. And
so that's the on the business.
That's the on the business. It's we always title it for next year. Yeah,
bro, having 2 meetings where you're working in the business, and then having another meeting where you're working on the business.
And anyone who's trying to build a business, like you have to just let all the stuff, like right now, my phone's getting, phone's ringing.
He's trying to do Instagram
I'm
Live.
like trying to do Instagram Live. It's ringing. I got my, I
Text
see
green
my
keeps going
emails
pop,
keep
pop.
popping up, but it's like, you got to just let that stuff go. I'll get to it. This is really important to kind of take what's in my head, put it out there. And then it's content for the rest of essentially my life.
Right.
So that's working on your business.
Yeah, and it's New Year's Eve. And
it's New Year's Eve.
We're losers doing a podcast.
Yeah, the only ones in the office doing a podcast are drinking energy drinks and doing podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to go back to emails.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and go through all my text messages, emails.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be doing.
Yeah. But again, it's just, you got to take the time to work on your business and really talk about what your initiatives are going forward. And again, everyone can paint. So the reason why we do those meetings, because we can say these are our goals, right?
Right.
So we set the goals, don't get me wrong. But then every meeting after that is, okay, well, what are we actually executing today to reach that goal?
So you're weekly holding yourself accountable to those goals.
So we have an action items task on both meetings, and we literally label, Daniel, do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Alex, do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Ramon, do this, this, this. And then we get back to the next week, and it's like, okay, action item review. Alex, you got this done? Yes. Got this done? Yep. Okay. Daniel, hey man, this took a little bit longer than expected. Can we push this to next week? Yes, we can. Okay. But everything else is done. Yes. Okay. And then that's the first thing we do is check in on the action items, and every admin and everyone a part of our support team knows that you got a week to get what we just laid out done. We're going to check it off the list and move on to something else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're basically holding everybody.
But do you see how that's totally not sexy at all? Like
I know. Yeah.
And it's on, we do it on pen and paper. I'm pretty old school.
But my brain is sitting there thinking, I'm watching execution happen.
It's happening in real life. Like real things are happening.
So it is sexy because shit's getting done.
The cool thing is though, is that it's so hard. Like I am so blessed with our admin team right now. It's a special group because they see the end goals with me. It's not like I'm begging them, like, guys, please, can you do these tasks? They're like, they're on top of it. I'm held accountable in the meeting because I have shit to do too.
Right.
I don't do it. They're like, damn, Ramon, so everyone else just does it and you just don't, it's a way of holding each other accountable. But our group is so forward thinking that we're able to accomplish these things with it's enjoyable, but also we're able to accomplish at a higher level because people are excited about it. It's not a drag to go do these extra tasks outside of your normal day-to-day.
And in your admin meeting, you have like all your department heads or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we have a head of transaction management. We have a head of director of compliance. There's our director of marketing. There's our director of sales. And there's our business administrator, and then there's me, qualifying broker. Right. Yep.
So, and then that's where you guys are sitting, in this room.
In this, literally cool in this room, yeah.
It has shells in it, shells.
Some bullets.
Fishing lures and stuff like that.
That's the cool part about being an independent broker. You kind of do whatever you want.
Let me drop some shells in this for you.
My dad built this table actually.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like a lacquer?
Yeah, it's completely custom. It's a lacquer. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So 2020, what are you, obviously you said you've already worked on 2020, but as a business owner, and we'll get back into, real estate with brokers, but as a business owner, what are your goals for 2020? What are you looking at, like coming right out the gate?
Sure.
First quarter.
Sure. So right now we are heavily focused on going into the new year, spreading our message about what we do for our brokers, because again, being a little bit more reserved with some of the stuff we do, the floodgates are opening now where I'm not scared to tell someone what technology I'm using. I'm not scared to tell them how I'd run my admin meetings. I'm not scared to tell them this is what I do to get business. This is how we do listing presentations. This is how we do the actual PDFs. This is how they're intertwined with our other marketing. Like where I'm not scared to teach people that anymore. So we're spreading our message that we are opening up the doors. And, I'm pretty sure I have checked the numbers, but I'm one of the youngest qualifying brokers with a producing team. And we just cranked out about $55 million of sales. So, I'm not going to say I'm the best, but I definitely know a thing or two. And I'm ready just to give that right back to anyone who wants to know. So spreading our message to other brokers that, hey, if you want to come work with us and you want to, be told exactly what to do, us to give you exactly our knowledge as we're growing, literally the things that we are finding to be successful for recruiting, I'm telling them to do it for their sales. Like we're giving them the same technology, everything. So if they want to be a part of this collaborative effort to be different in our market, then come on board. We're ready to go.
And coming on board, what does that look like? Like if somebody
Looks like the best decision of your life. In real estate.
Oh, that's awesome. But like, how would you prefer them to email you or DM you? Can they go on?
I don't care, man. I'm married to the mission. Married to the mission, right? Yeah. I don't care how you get a hold of me. You want to text me, email me, come to my office, reach out to one of our other brokers. And I absolutely encourage anyone, don't got to listen to me. You can call any one of our brokers, go on our website, the roster's right there, call them up, ask them about their experience. And yeah, I don't care how you get a hold of me.
How many brokers do you have now?
So 30.
30? Oh, that's awesome. So are like 2020 goals, are you looking at
100?
100. Oh,
100.
shit.
Yeah. Triple up.
Wow.
Yeah. We're ready, man. We've been doing the infrastructure work.
So you have the systems in place for that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that was
100?
Yes. That was for, might need to get some more office space, but that's okay. That's what our last quarter was all about, was literally changing our business model to be able to accommodate 100 brokers.
So you changed your business model to triple your business.
Correct. Take a couple steps back for 20
Isn't that interesting?
forward.
How many business owners would do something like that? Like totally change their business. Like you did basically stop. Did you erase everything and then?
Yeah. Well, no, there's systems merging and there's IT stuff and there's, how your programs work and your accounting and there's a bunch of stuff, but we did it in 3 months, really. We changed it all in 3 months, completely turned it around. I'd say it's a 180.
And now you're able to handle 100 brokers.
Correct. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's one of those things where
I think that's a challenge though. Like I think there's some business owners that are out there listening. It's like, when's the last time you've done something that drastic where you said, I want to double or triple. How can I get there?
Well, this is the deal. You want people to buy into what you're all about. And then you want your employees, like again, I'm extremely blessed. All the people that work with us and our admin team, they're not like, they run. They're not sitting down waiting for, they take initiative and they can see the big picture. But as a business owner, you need to cast the vision every single day, as many times as you can, where they can see what they want, whether it's personal growth, financial growth, growth as a leader. They can see their spot underneath the big picture. Theirs. They can see what they want underneath
like personalized for them, or like are like getting to know them enough to where you know what they want. Or
essentially, Jason wants to triple his salary in the next 5 years.
Right.
Jason wants to become a better leader and wants to control a division of a company. Okay.
Right.
I have to, as a business owner, knowing what you want, I have to cast a vision where you can say, yep, I can do that with this company. This is going to happen. So if you're going to sit there and be scared to change your model and say, oh, well, I don't know, is it going to affect my vacations this month or this year?
So you made that big of a commitment on your people.
Oh yeah.
Where you've changed your model based on the personal.
Yeah. Because I know they want to grow. I want to grow too. So I'm like, well, what's going to happen? Either they're going to grow with you, you're going to make it happen, or they're going to leave you.
Right.
That's the reality.
But I mean, how many business owners that are out there that it's like my way or the highway, or like you can use a cookie cutter brand where there's systems that have been in place since 1972.
Yeah.
And it's like, you follow these, you're in this position, here's a job description, and this is it. If you can't do this, we'll hire somebody else.
That just comes down to personal sacrifice, because I made a lot more money selling real estate in 1 year than I did this year, like probably triple the amount, if not more. But I know that my long-term goal is not to be in the day-to-day sales role of selling real estate every day. I know that. So I sat down and said, well, I made enough money now, not now, but for the time being. And why don't I just start working towards my end goal today? So
you could have easily stayed, like, let's say you and Alice could have partnered up and you guys could have just sold a shit.
Dude, I'd probably have 5 times more money than I have right now.
This has actually cost you like 5 times more.
So absolutely. It's cost me. But you know what? There's nothing better than helping people change their lives. There's nothing better than that. I don't care what you say about money. I've watched it happen in real life, and it's the best feeling. And then working towards your end goal. So exactly what I was telling about before is not, everyone can see the end goal, but they're too scared to take the steps or don't know what to do. I'm like, well, if this is what the end goal is, I figure the sooner I start working on it, the better, especially while my lifestyle, I don't have lavish expenses and all these crazy things I'm accustomed to. Dude, I started off when I got out of college, I could survive on probably $275 a month, like 275. Yes.
Yeah. I saw the other day, they said that the number one vehicle that millionaires drive is a Ford F-150 pickup. Isn't that crazy?
But that sucks. I drive a Dodge Ram.
Yeah, I know you have a truck, but it's just funny. You know, everybody thinks it has to be the Lamborghinis or, you know, the BMWs.
But that's what social media is literally brainwashed you to think. And it's taken me a long time to like get my head out of that shit because it makes you feel bad. Like today, I'm sitting here doing this podcast. Something could pop up. Are you still doing podcasts and not marketing the right way? And this guy like, you know, at his hotel in Greece, like taking a phone call, acting like he's closing a deal on a laptop.
Right.
And you're like, damn, man, like, but you're not doing anything wrong.
I know, but a lot of that stuff is so bullshit. Like
It's
he literally
bullshit.
He literally walked into a hotel lobby, probably in Miami, pretending like he's in Greece.
Dude, it's the worst.
Then all that stuff is posing, guys.
You have to
posing
be
next to
super
cars.
conscientious of that stuff and listen to who's saying the stuff that's not sexy. That's not oh man, that sounds so fun. Like, no, because it's not sometimes.
So whenever you bring somebody on board, you know, because I know there's people out there listening to this and thinking, you know, maybe I should, you know, check out ROC Real Estate. You know, maybe I'm looking at, you know, I've been a realtor and you like to help people that's been a realtor for a while, right?
I like to help anybody. I used to be like, I don't know if you're brand new, but you know what? The brand new people are the best because they have open minds and they're willing to change.
They have to have the right spirit, an entrepreneurial spirit.
You have to.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, why are you in this business?
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then so when they come on board, they have a conversation with you, because we've talked about this before personally, but you have like a coaching system in place.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand this because this is really important.
Sure.
You don't get this anywhere else.
Yeah. So we have a very refined system on our onboarding process and then what happens to you thereon after. And these are all minimums, mind you. There's never a time where you cannot reach your support staff. You can't reach me. You can't reach Alex. Alex truly doesn't sleep. So if I'm not answering at 2 a.m,
he dresses like a Tom Cruise, the vampire.
Like he doesn't. Yeah,
interview with the vampire.
So you can reach him.
Does he sleep upside down?
I don't know, dude. I don't think he sleeps at all. So if you can't reach me at 2 a.m, you can definitely reach Alex. But what we do is your first meeting is your technology meeting. So the first thing we do is you sign your paperwork. We get you all set up. And then you go through your systems and your technology that you're going to be using. All your username, passwords, everything's already pre-set up for you. All you got to do is just show up to the meeting with our technology specialist, Erica, and she walks you through exactly everything.
So you don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get a login?
No. That's already done. But you get there and they're already made. Your email's made, everything's made. We're just helping you get it set up on your mobile, on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever else. So that's taken care of. And then you also get this badass ROC Real Estate Partners duffel bag with a bunch of cool stuff in it, like
swag.
portfolio. Oh yeah. Portfolios, water bottles, coffee mugs, pens, you name it, you get it. So then your second meeting from there is your business development meeting. And that meeting is with Daniel, our director of marketing. So we do not skimp on our marketing. You get everything from name tags, new headshots, business cards, social media profile backdrops. You want,
I've seen commercials. You guys have podcast equipment?
Yeah. You want to do a commercial. You want to, whatever you want to do, marketing, graphic design. You
green
get your
screens.
Green screens, got those. Custom listing presentations, custom buying presentations. You name it, it's being made for you. Daniel goes through a lengthy list to make sure you are covered in every single area of your marketing. Then your third meeting is your business strategy meeting. That's a one-on-one sit down with me. Now that we got all your tech up, your marketing's up. Now it's time. Let's talk about the tactical day-to-day things, how we are going to set up and grow your business. And that's done with me. From there, you're meeting with me once a month because in that third meeting, we're going to be talking about what are your goals for the year. So everyone again is able to do what? Set the long goal. I want to make $250,000 this year. Sounds good. That translates to X amount of houses. That translates to this, that, to the other. Then every single month, we're going to be meeting together and we're going to be saying, where are we at in terms of our goals? And by the way, this isn't I always tell our brokers this isn't like hey man, why aren't you doing your work? Like you're slacking off. You need to be doing better. It's first, I look at myself and our crew and I say, hey, what do I need to be doing better for you? And what does ROC Real Estate Partners need to be doing better for you good. First? I look at myself first, them second. And then we come up with our strategy. So if things are working, great. Let's keep doing this. We need to improve here, whatever. If things aren't working, we know we need to change it. So we're keeping in track with each other every single month from there. And then in between that, you got your weekly training, which there's 3 of them per week. And then you have your weekly company-wide meeting. So you got 4 meetings, technically, 4 opportunities to learn per week. Plus you got your monthly meeting. And then we got your quarterly, monthly, our quarterly marketing masterminds with you.
Fun. Yeah. That's so, it's 2020 tomorrow.
Yep.
If you, I want to hit business owners first and then we'll hit real estate. Like, what are some of the things that for 2020 that you've learned and that you're going to implement this year for yourself and for ROC Real Estate?
So one of the things is that a couple of guys here at our office, we're going to be doing the 75 hard challenge.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm all down with it, but the alcohol part, like
I love
drinking
wine.
beers,
I love wine. Gosh.
because you can't drink.
You don't drink
You
nothing.
can't drink nothing for 75 days, right?
But you know what is that right now, considering the changes we've made, considering there's always risk with change. There's risk with being an independent brokerage. Like, there's a lot of risk involved. There's no better time for us to get dialed in. Like, not just a little dialed in, but like literally no alcohol. We're eating clean food. We're working out. We're reading.
You have to work out twice a day.
Twice a day, yeah. I don't think there's a better time to do it. So that's one thing we're implementing at the beginning of the year, and I'm really excited for.
That's tomorrow.
No, so we're starting the 6th. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Because I was excited. I was like, you better get your drink on.
Dude, none of us can. Yeah, I know tonight. Yeah. Good idea.
You have how many bottles of wine could you drink to the 6th?
Probably a lot. Yeah.
And so for your personal,
That falls in the personal. Yeah. I think, for me, one of the personal, that's one of them, but for a day to day is that I know I personally need to work on my enthusiasm in my office and like with everyone I meet, because when you're in a business and you're growing it, like people never remember what you tell them. They don't remember your stats.
Right.
You guys aren't going to remember any of this. You're going to remember, how did this guy make me feel? And so enthusiasm is one of the easiest things to share with people. And for me in the recruiting business and in the sales business, I need to be more enthusiastic, not only with my employees, with my brokers, but with everybody I meet, because they're only going to remember the way I made him feel.
Yeah. How many times we get so caught up in the business? I do this all the time where a person walks in.
Can we curse on this?
Yeah.
And you're just a total dickhead every day. Yeah, that's me in the mornings usually.
And then somebody walks in my office. I'm like, what the fuck you want?
And I feel, and like they walk out and I'm like, gosh, that was such a terrible interaction.
Yeah,
like, they probably think I'm a really bad person.
Or I just look up like at the computer and just look up like,
I'm the worst at this. So that is like and I think
like I'm under conviction right now because you're telling me this.
I think I've been doing better. I think I've been doing better, but I don't know, man.
Because they're just coming into, I literally went off on somebody. I was like, just because you're fucking bored doesn't mean I'm not.
Oh man. And it's like totally not their fault, but I have to check myself. Like, no, you need, like, because again, they're not going to remember. They're not going to remember what I told them. They're going to remember the thing. Dude, I walk in Ramon's office and it's like this dark cloud just smacked me in the face. They're going to remember that, And so I never took that into as much consideration as I am now. Now with, at first it was just
how are you going to do no alcohol and be enthusiastic?
I don't know. Maybe it'll make me a happier person if I don't drink wine. But it's just crazy because a lot of people start off with 3. Start with 3 people.
Right.
4. Me, Alex, Chris, and Deanna. That was it. That was the crew. We all knew each other, whatever. Right. Then you start getting, you got 35 and you're like, oh man, I don't know everybody like that anymore. You have to really make sure that your interactions are solid because, you might not get that many more. You don't know.
That's a good one. Enthusiasm. I need to be on that one. So for the company, what are you looking at for
100 brokers?
100 brokers.
We want to end the year with 100 brokers. That's a minimum. And the year with 100 brokers. Yep.
Yeah. So that's like 10 a month.
Yeah.
Roughly. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to be doing a lot of appointments. Yeah.
So, when you look at someone that's out there that is a real estate agent, what advice would you give to them for 2020? And we'll close on this.
I would,
besides talking to you, but
yeah, talk to me. That's number 1. Number 2 would be, again, going back to marry the mission, date the model. It's 2020, man. Anything goes. Like, look at the world. Everything is it's opened up where we have so much information, so much technology, and like, just go for it. Like, whatever that means to you. And I know that's like super cliche, right? Just go for it. But
no,
seriously,
but you said whatever it means to you. And I think that makes it very personal.
Yeah.
That's very important because what means to me is something totally different than what means to you.
Correct. So. Yeah. So that'd be just do it. That's the biggest part is that people plan for the right time, yada, yada, yada. There's no better time than yesterday. Truly. So, whether you're on the fence about like, I had that deal where I almost quit real estate. I remember about to make that phone call and said, dude, you're just being a grade A bitch right now. You're literally just thinking about how you're broke and how this is so hard, how you drive this shitty car. That's what I was thinking in my head. I wasn't thinking like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And then I did, and I went for it, and things have worked out so far.
That's so awesome. So you've been at that point.
I've been, I always use the joke double zeros, man. I remember refreshing my bank account, my Bank of America app, it's red. It's what it looks like. And I'm laying down at night waiting for this direct deposit to go through for my job.
Right.
And I remember seeing double zeros on there. And I just remember refreshing it and waiting for this like $175 to come through. And I was like, dude, I'm never doing this again. Like, this is it. And sometimes, it's not like I was a poor, I grew up in this terrible environment. No, I just wanted to be independent, and shoot, I went broke.
Yeah, you need to buy a $175 bottle of wine. Drink it just for that.
We've gotten a few. Yeah. That's too expensive though. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, I heard, side note, I heard like 15 to 30 is a good for wine.
Yeah.
Like 15 to 30.
You know what? It's just like anything else. It's all taste. You know what? If that menage a trois tastes good or that nickel and nickel tastes good to you, if you like the nickel and nickel, you're going to be paying $1.30.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me the other day that there was literally like, there's a bottle that is like $75, but there's a little country road, same grapes, but there's a country road with like a small vineyard on the other side. And it's the same grapes right across. You can literally see them. But that bottle's $15 and this one's $75.
Yeah, just a different side.
So to me, I'm thinking, how do you find out these places with these $15 bottles?
Yeah, again, I just go by taste. If it tastes good, I'm good with it. I don't care. If I can get it cheaper, I will, but whatever.
Well, that's cool. Well, thanks, Ramon. I appreciate it. I hope this helped everyone for 2020.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for having me. We're in your headquarters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for bringing your equipment over, hanging out with me on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, this is what we're doing, guys.
Yep,
Rock stars and New Year's Eve. But thanks, Ramon.
Yep.